Isaiah 11:6 reads, "A little child will lead them." And in some ways, that is the story of the fight against racism in America.
We were not going to take segregated buses any longer.
It was a child who inspired Rosa Parks when she refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Alabama, December 1st, 1955. That child was Emmett Till, a 14-year-old Chicago boy who made headlines only 4 months earlier. He was kidnapped and lynched while visiting family in Mississippi.
At the age of 12, could you imagine going to sleep at night and wake up the next day, your whole world is upside down?
Emmett was visiting his cousin Simeon Wright that summer. They were sleeping in the same room when two men showed up at the Wright family's home.
See, when they awakened Wheeler, they said, "This is the wrong boy. We're looking for the fat boy from Chicago." And they knew who they were looking for. At that time, I weighed about 90 pounds, and Emmett weighed about 140.
They were J.W. Milam and Roy Bryant. Bryant owned the country store where Emmett and his cousins had stopped to buy candy just a few days earlier.
Well, Emmett and I, we had walked out. We was in the store together. We had walked out of the store, and Mrs. Bryant came out behind us, and she was walking towards a car, and then Emmett whistled at her, and it scared us half to death.
The whistle at Carolyn Bryant, Roy Bryant's wife, was a joke to the 14-year-old from Chicago, who was always trying to make his cousins laugh. He didn't understand the unspoken rules of the segregated South.
Color didn't mean anything to him. I mean, you're a human being. We're all the same. So he grew up like that.
Emmett Till's family called him Bobo, and this is what he looked like before August 28, 1955. Simeon describes that day as the longest day of his life, and the first day there was no laughter in his childhood home. Emmett's body was found 3 days later in the Tallahatchie River. It was tied to a cotton gin.
His body was so badly damaged that we couldn't hardly just tell who he was, but he happened to have on a ring with his initials.
Simeon's father identified the body before it was sent to Emmett's mother, Mamie Till Mobley, in Chicago.
I didn't see the ear. Where's the ear? And that's when I discovered a hole about here, and I could see daylight on the other side.
Mrs. Mobley wanted the world to see what she saw. She left her son's casket open at the funeral for the thousands who came. Even more would see his face on the cover of Jet magazine, where 12-year-old Simeon saw it for the first time.
At 12, I know I didn't understand it all, but I understood what I saw. I saw the injustices that took place, and it affected me.
It's taken more than 50 years for him to talk about his cousin's death. He shares his pain in the book Simeon's Story, the very first eyewitness account of Emmett Till's kidnapping.
I was enraged and embittered by the verdict. I saw for the first time the evil that was in the heart of the segregationists.
The all-white jury found J.W. Milam and Roy Bryant not guilty in the murder trial, and there was never a trial for the kidnapping.
I was angry, yes, because of what happened. Because the justice system in Mississippi failed us. Our neighbors failed us. Leaving that trial, looking back at the white population rejoicing because these men was acquitted. I had the thought in my head, I said, we had no one to help us.
Did you hate those white men?
I don't think I know how to hate, but I wanted to get even. I wanted the revenge.
Simeon and his family moved from Mississippi to Chicago not long after the trial, but the distance could not erase his anger.
If I was provoked, we'd try to get even. Now, I remember one case, there was a young lady in my classroom. She was from Alabama, and she did something, nothing serious, and I think I slapped her.
He turned to alcohol early in his adulthood until something unexpected happened one night at a Chicago bar.
At age 22, God forgave me of my sins. That's what changed me, really. When I was sitting in this tavern, and I heard the voice of the Lord say, if you die in your sins, you're going to hell. And man, I tell you, my life wasn't the same again.
That voice inspired him to forgive the men responsible for the death of his cousin.
Needless to say, the death of Bobo and the acquittal of his murderers left a hole in my heart.
How did you learn to forgive them?
Forgiveness is something, it's not easy. Just because I said that, it wasn't an easy process. It's a process that you have to, it's an act of your will, you have to do it and then fight through it. And then the deliverance comes.
At 67, Simeon says he has also forgiven Carolyn Bryant, the woman who testified Emmett did much more than just whistle. She is Emmett's only surviving accuser.
I feel if I met her, she probably could repent of what she did. I think she want to, but she probably don't know how.
Simeon says he'd like to meet her and show her how. Ephraim Graham, CBN News.
Sanford Police Department. Line is being recorded. Sean.
Hey, we've had some break-ins in my neighborhood, and there's a real suspicious guy. It's Retrieve View Circle. The best address I can give you is 111 Retrieve View Circle. This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. It's raining, and he's just walking around looking about.
Okay, and this guy, is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He looks black.
Did you see what he was wearing?
Yeah, a dark hoodie, like a gray hoodie, and either jeans or sweatpants and white tennis shoes. He's here now. He was just staring.
Oh, he's just walking around the area?
At all the houses.
Okay.
And now he's just staring at me.
Okay, and so it's 1111 Retrieve You or 111?
That's the clubhouse.
That's the clubhouse. Do you know what he's near the clubhouse right now?
Yeah, now he's coming towards me.
Okay.
He's got his hand in his waistband. Yeah, he's a black male.
Okay. How old would you say he looks?
He's got a button on his shirt. Late teens.
Late teens, okay.
Something's wrong with him. Yeah. He's coming to check me out. He's got something in his hands. I don't know what his deal is.
Okay, just let me know if he does anything, okay?
Over here.
Yeah, we got him on the way. Just let me know if this guy does anything else.
Okay. These assholes, they always get away. Yeah. When you come to the clubhouse, you come straight in and make a left. Actually, you would go past the clubhouse.
Okay, it says on the left-hand side from the clubhouse?
No, you go in straight through the entrance, and then you make a left. Yeah, you go straight in, don't turn and make a left. Shit, he's running.
He's running? Which way is he running?
Down towards the other entrance of the neighborhood.
Okay, which entrance is that he's heading towards?
The back entrance.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay.
All right, sir, what is your name?
George. He ran.
All right, George, what's your last name?
Zimmerman.
And George, what's the phone number you're calling from?
407-435-2400.
All right, George, would you have them on the way? Do you want to meet with the officer when they get out there?
Yeah.
All right, where are you going to meet with them at?
If they come in through the gate, tell them to go straight past the clubhouse and straight past the clubhouse and make a left. And then they go past the mailboxes. They'll see my truck.
Okay, what address are you parked in front of?
I don't know. It's a cut-through, so I don't know the address.
Okay, do you live in the area?
Yeah.
Well, what's your apartment number?
It's a home. It's 1950. Oh, crap. I don't want to give it out loud. I don't know where this kid is.
Okay, do you want to just meet with him right near the mailboxes, then?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, George, I'll let him know to meet you with you out there, okay?
Actually, could you have him call me, and I'll tell him where I'm at?
Okay, yeah, that's no problem.
You need my number? You got it.
Yeah, I got it. 407-435-2400.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, no problem. I'll let them know to call you when they're in the area.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Breaking news out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. 2 arrests this morning in what they're calling Operation Random Shooter. A pair of white men now charged with driving around the city, shooting black people on the streets. 5 victims, 3 of them dead. ABC's Pierre Thomas, who's our chief justice correspondent, has the very latest now from Washington. Pierre, good morning, sir.
Hi, Dan. On this Easter morning in Tulsa, some prayers answered. As you said, arrests have been made in a series of cold-blooded shootings early Friday morning. Police say they've arrested 2 white males, one age 19 and another 32, charging them with 5 shootings that left 3 people dead. All the victims were black. Police originally thought they were dealing with only 1 suspect. This morning, as word of the arrest broke, ABC News Radio spoke with Jason Willingham of the Tulsa Police.
We assumed that there could be more obviously involved, but until we got further into this case, it didn't reveal itself that there was 2 individuals involved.
Tulsa's nightmare began early Friday morning. That's when the killing started. 1 a.m., police find a 49-year-old woman lying in a pool of blood in a yard in the city's north side. She would die at a local hospital. Minutes later, 1:03 a.m., 2 blocks to the east, police discover 2 men with gunshot wounds. They are raced to the hospital in critical condition. 1:50 a.m., a 54-year-old man is found a short distance away. He's also been shot. He dies. And as night turns to dawn, there is more bad news. At 8:30, the body of a 31-year-old man is discovered steps away from a funeral home. He sustained a fatal gunshot wound to the chest. The city and the African-American community in particular were on edge.
I know hate crime when I see one.
With the city stricken with fear, the police set up a task force and vowed swift action.
I also want to say to the perpetrator and anybody who would attempt to aid or abet him, we're coming for you.
That proved prophetic. So as the city weeps for the victims, this morning they're hopeful. This sad story may be finally over. Dan?
Pierre Thomas, thank you very much for your reporting this morning. Let's get an update now from the mayor of Tulsa, Dewey Bartlett, who's got some late-breaking information on this big break in the case. And Mr. Mayor, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. It sounds like good old-fashioned police work made the difference here.
Well, it really did. Just good, dedicated police officers, good leadership, but especially the community coming together from a united point of view, encouraging the community to get involved and call in tips and observations. And at the end of the day, that through the media is really what helped all this come together and worked out well.
I know these arrests were made just hours ago, and you're still questioning the suspects. But at this point, given that both shooters are white and all the victims were black, can we conclude that this was a hate crime?
No, not at this point. I haven't had any conversation yet with the police department or any of the detectives involved with the interrogations.
What do we know about these 2 men? I understand they were arrested in the same home. Are they related? Are they part of a hate group? What do we know?
I don't know what their relationship is other than a possible friendship. I know that we had received a few tips about one of them, and then it became apparent that the 2 of them possibly acted together.